does a true disciple of Jesus look like? Perhaps we imagine soldiers assembled before their commanding officer, or students in the school of their rabbi, or laborers in gospel service, or worshippers at the feet of their Lord. In Matthew chapter 19, Jesus gives us a hands-on portrait of the kingdom. What does it look like? Little children in the arms of Jesus. Matthew 19 from verse 13. Then little children were brought to Jesus for him to place his hands on them and pray for them. But the disciples rebuked those who brought them. Jesus said, "Let the little children come to me," or in the older translations, "Suffer the children to come to me." Suffer the little children to come to me, and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these. When he had placed his hands on them, he went on from there. The disciples imagined that Jesus would be too important for children. They made the decision for him, and they sent away the young families, giving them an earful as they went. We can only imagine what their rebuke to the little children and their families was like. Ridiculous, really. Perhaps they were saying to the families, "The rabbi's a busy man. Don't you bring your grubby toddlers here. He's the king. Don't you know that childcare is beneath the Lord of Lords?" In these rebukes, the disciples revealed how desperately they had misunderstood Jesus. King Jesus is all about stooping. His royal glory and gladness is to come down, first from heaven to earth, but then he keeps going down, bending down and picking up the helpless, blessing the needy who have nothing to offer. As Isaiah 40 says of him, he gathers the lambs in his arms and carries them close to his heart. Jesus with the little children, that's his heartbeat. So Jesus says, "Let the children come to me," or in the old King James translation, "Suffer the little children and forbid them not to come unto me, for of such is the kingdom of heaven." The disciples had it exactly wrong. It's the helpless dependents who belong with the king. Therefore, the disciples' attempt to exclude the needy puts them on dangerous ground. Who do they think they are, barring those whom Jesus welcomes? The disciples should not think of themselves as noble defenders of Jesus' honor. Jesus welcomes little children and all who are like little children. If the disciples do not welcome little children, it only shows that they must repent. They must do what Matthew 18 verse 3 says. Jesus says, "Truly I tell you, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven." The disciples thought the children needed to grow up. Jesus says it's the other way round. It's the disciples who must become like the children. Little children, even. I mean, the point about little children is that they receive everything and have no complex about it. Has there ever been a 5-year-old who's been given a gift and responded, "Are you sure? I feel so bad because I haven't gotten you anything. Let me pay for that." Have you ever met a 5-year-old like that? Children, little children, freely receive with no thought of deserving and no thought of payback. This is how Jesus wants us with him. He wants us to be little children with no thought of deserving or payback, just content to be in his arms. Nothing in the Bible transforms my prayer life like this image here. So often I come before Jesus like I'm a soldier and he's my sergeant major, or I'm an employee and he's my line manager, or I'm a worshipper trying to summon up devotion, but no, he wants me to come as a little child. In fact, Matthew 18 verse 3, "Without changing and becoming like a little child, I will know nothing of this kingdom and nothing of this king." But in reality, the Son invites me into a kingdom where little children belong. In fact, only little children belong. It's a kingdom whose royal insignia could depict this scene: the Lord of life stooping to gather up the children as they squeal with delight. This kingdom is fundamentally a family where, in C.S. Lewis's phrase, everything is for the asking and absolutely nothing can be bought. Today, in your prayers, don't stand aloof and don't disdain the little children. Become one.